Hello and welcome to What's Good Huskies. We're here in the studios of UTVS in the basement of Stewart Hall. I'm your host, Thomas Breach, and today on What's Good Huskies, we have two very special guests from Huskies softball, that being Jasmin Estrada and Vanden Langenberg. Ladies, what's good?
Nothing much. It's good to be here. Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you so much for having us. It's awesome down here.
This is sick. This
Right.
is a sick little setup.
Right, an awesome setup. Season 1 of What's Good Huskies. We've had some awesome guests so far. Just such a great experience down here, too. Learn a little bit more about you guys, learn about the season, about the program. It's going to be a lot of fun today.
Yeah, we're excited. Thank you for having
us. I'm super excited.
So first and foremost, season so far, pretty good for St. Cloud State, well over 500, a lot of fun wins, a lot of fun trips as well. Some highlights. What's really stuck out to the two of you about, this 2023 season?
I would say like one of the top highlights for me would be going to Florida. We faced some really good teams down there. We faced Grand Valley. I think they're ranked number 7 in the nation. And then we faced Rogers State. And at the time, they were actually ranked number 1. Both games were awesome. Both games were super intense. When we faced Rogers, I think it was only 3-1 that we lost, and I think they actually scored those last 2 in the last inning. And then we actually ended up beating Grand Valley 1-0. So it was really fun, super intense. We love going down and facing great competition. So
yeah, I'm going to copycat off of that. I mean, exactly what I was going to say. Our last year in Florida, we made it a good one. And those last 2 games, the one against Rogers and the one against Grand Valley, were probably my 2 favorite games played in my 5 years here, so it was great.
And I know as of today, too, I was just chatting with the two of you about this before the show. Mitch and I were chatting a little bit earlier this week. That one loss that Grand Valley State's pitcher has is St. Cloud State.
Yep.
That's a pretty good moment. Raven, the Florida trip you mentioned, it's always a fun one. That's where you play those teams that are out of region, not conference opponents. You get more of a taste of D2 softball. Off the field, how much fun are those trips just to build the team?
So much fun. It's just so fun, like going to Florida and actually like soaking up the sun. I mean, we live in Minnesota where it's winter for I don't even know how many months at this time. But it's just so fun, and you get to live with your teammates in one house or 2 houses for a week, and it's just so fun, like swimming late at night. We like to watch American Idol on this team, so we create a lot of memories and create a lot of bonds during that time too.
Yeah, and not even just the Florida trip, just like all the bus rides, like when we go to Kansas and Missouri, and this year we got to go to Marion Minot. This was the first year, I think.
This was the first year, actually,
we've been there here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so even those long trips, a lot of memories are made on those bus rides and in those hotel rooms.
Yep, for sure.
A lot of memories made here in your careers, both of you fifth-year players at St. Cloud State. I'm going to take you back to some of your earliest memories of St. Cloud State really becoming part of the future for you playing softball collegiately. Either one of you can start here. What was the process of choosing St. Cloud State? What brought you here to SCSU?
I can start.
Okay.
My recruiting process actually was pretty short. I never really like reached out to coaches. I actually just attended some like camps and showcases. Luckily, Paula was at I think it was the Minnesota Gopher showcase, and I just kind of performed well there, and she actually reached out to me right away. And then the other 2 coaches also reached out to me, and I really wanted to stay close to home. I'm really tight-knit with my family, so I really wanted to make sure that I was able to go home whenever I wanted, or they could come see me whenever they wanted, and that they could attend all my games. So it was pretty obvious that I really wanted to commit to St. Cloud State right away. So
yeah, with me, funny story. So I started junior year, when you think that's when you have to start and coaches can contact you. And I sent out all my emails, and I probably got like 3 or 4 D1 emails back. Sorry, we already got our 2018 recruits done. And I'm like, it's the second day of junior year. But St. Cloud was probably one of the only couple Division IIs that I had interest in, and I got an email. And then my friend Sydney LaPointe from Bayport, we played summer ball together, and she got recruited here, and I was like, hey, like I want to go here too. Maybe we can be teammates for the next 4 years or whatever. And that next day, I think I got an email back from Paula. So then it just went from there.
yeah.
Was that process intimidating at all, like going through the whole college searching, looking for a spot?
It actually was pretty intimidating because I think like I just sent a few emails out to like D1s because my older brother played at the University of Minnesota. So like watching him go through the recruiting process, I kind of knew what it would look like, but it's also intimidating as like a 16 and 17-year-old to reach out to college coaches and just be like, hey, like I'm out here, like you're not even an adult yet, and you have to like speak so professionally and like present yourself so professionally. So.
Yeah, and talk yourself up. I hate talking about myself, and that's like the whole recruiting process. Especially because I came from a really small high school, so it's like you don't get looked at a lot. And I'm the oldest out of my family, so it was new for like the entire family, so it was really intimidating.
I know we'll talk a little bit later about leaders that helped you grow here at St. Cloud State, but those first couple months on campus, were there any players that really kind of helped you get adjusted, get adapted to the college life and the college student-athlete life?
Oh, for sure. On the team, I'd say Megan Conrads. She played with us the last summer of my AAU season. So she really like got us ready in the upcoming months before we got to college. And then when we got to college, for sure, like she like took us under her wing and showed us the ropes, and it was really cool.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely say Megan Conrads as well. I think a lot of the upperclassmen kind of showed us some tough love at first. They definitely made us prove ourselves, that's for sure. So it took a little bit. I would say I started getting really close with some players in Florida. So like that Florida trip is like really crucial to our season. So I would say Morgan Emmons was a huge mentor for me. She was a senior when I was a freshman. She was a great leader, great captain. She also was our GA, I think, the next year or two. 2 years.
Yep.
So she was a great coach, great mentor for me. Learned a lot from her. I still literally reference her in all of my – I take a lot of leadership classes, and I reference her all the time as a leader. So, yeah.
You've both been here for 5 years at St. Cloud State. How have you seen yourself grow on the field, off the field over these 5?
Oh, gosh. I would say definitely mentally I've grown a lot.
For sure.
I was a hothead my freshman year. I'm not afraid to
Really?
admit it. I was a hothead my freshman year. I'm not afraid to admit that at all. I remember I would strike out, like, nothing different than now. But, like, I'd strike out, and I'd just be so angry, and I'd, like, not get teary-eyed, but I'd just be so frustrated with myself. And now when I strike out, I'm like, whatever. Like, it's just a part of the game. So I think you definitely grow a lot. Just mentally through the process of like finding yourself and yeah
mental of course. I mean, we already know that the game is like 80% 90% mental, but when you can actually like learn how to deal with the mental side of it, you're going to be 20 times better. For sure.
100% agree. And then like playing wise, I mean, I think I set the record for strikeouts my freshman year. So once again, not ashamed of that. Like I go down swinging, but I think growing, I've learned a lot of discipline at the plate, and I think as a freshman I was a little bit afraid to take walks because I just felt like it wasn't like a good part of the game. But then as I grew, I was like, walks are good, like they help my percentages. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I think I've definitely grown a lot as a player as well, just learning to take like discipline at the plate and not being afraid to like take a ball or get a walk or even get hit if I really have to.
The one time.
I've only gotten hit once, but
Well, we're about to hit you both with some really, really quick questions. I know we talked to you about it a little bit before the show. I don't know if you can ever be really prepped for it.
Yeah.
How this segment works is we're going to hit you with a certain amount of questions. We've got, I think, 1, maybe 2 minutes for the two of you here with us today.
Okay.
I'm going to read some questions. We're going to need an answer from both of you as quick as you can, a little bit of time to think about it.
Okay.
Not a ton of time, though. Are you ready?
we're ready.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Wait, are you going first for every question?
You go first.
Okay.
Okay, now that we've got that sorted
Yep.
out,
We're ready.
first off, name a pitcher you'd most like to take an at-bat against.
Sarah Willis from UCF.
I'm gonna go Eddie Estrada.
Favorite sports movie?
Oh God. Trouble with a Curve.
Bench warmers, 100%.
That's a good one.
Favorite non-sports movie?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know. I don't watch a lot of movies that aren't sports related, so I pass.
Moana.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
No.
Absolutely not.
Go-to pizza top.
Pepperoni.
Just cheese. Cheese girl all the way.
What is your favorite city you've played in other than St. Cloud?
Kissimmee, Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
Favorite number?
11.
18.
Funniest teammate?
Josie. 100%.
Unanimous.
Oh yeah.
Most memorable game of your playing career so far? A lot of games left.
Probably the Rogers State.
Beating Augustana in the regular season.
What's the best thing you can cook?
Mac and cheese.
Probably tacos.
All right, so Eddie Estrada, that's it for questions that we have. You taking AB off your brother?
Oh, 100%, and I take a B off every time.
I was going to say, I think your college stats have already beaten him. That's a little dig at Eddie for him listening, because I know he will.
Yes.
I think that's all the time we have before we head to break. So, ladies, we'll be back in just a bit with more What's Good Huskies.
All right.
I'm Zach G. Asphodel. I'm a Director of Development for the University Advancement and Alumni Engagement Office. I'm a 28-year KVSC on-air veteran, and I am an old punk. I will always remember my very first moment coming into the studios and touring around. I said, why did I ever wait? If you think TV looks great, you like radio, if you like journalism, just try everything. You'll never run out of possibilities if you keep yourself open to it. And you'll also meet some incredible people. And it's the whole idea in my mind of what a student experience as a Husky really is.
Welcome back to What's Good Huskies here in the studios of UTVS. I'm Thomas Breach. Today we're joined by Jasmin Estrada and Vanden Langenberg. It's been a lot of fun so far here today,
Yes.
ladies, chatting a lot of Huskies softball, learning some more about a lot of different things about the two of you, your careers here. We've talked a bit about travel. I know going down to Florida is a pretty constant thing. This time of year, any time of year really in Minnesota, right? Like even in May, you can get snow showers.
For sure.
What's that impact like, playing college softball in this state when you don't really know if you're actually going to play 2-3 days out where you're supposed to play?
I think when the dome was up, like, we were like, yeah, bring on the snow, bring on the rain. Like, we have the dome, like, home field advantage. We love it. We love being on the dome. I mean, that's where we practice. It's where we play. So that's super nice. But then when the dome gets taken down, it's kind of difficult. Like, even this weekend, we were supposed to play Saturday, Sunday, and now we might get pushed to Sunday, Monday. So it's just weird in a mental headspace, kind of like trying to figure out in class-wise and all that. But I think as a team we do pretty well of figuring out what we got to do and when we got to get stuff done, and we do it. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little frustrating just like having our games canceled. Like I think we're 6 games canceled, so I think it kind of frustrates us like conference standing wise, because I do think we had a really good shot at like winning regular season conference, but now we just have no idea what that looks like because we've had so many games canceled. But yeah, it's a little frustrating, but hopefully we can make up for it in the long run.
I know early season you have the dome. The really, really cool part of St. Cloud State University is the Husky Dome. It's up for 6-7 months of the year, maybe sometimes more, depending on weather, all that fun stuff. The impact of being able to practice in the same dome that you play in the spring, where a lot of teams aren't super accustomed to domes, right? Everybody knows how to look up into a blue sky and see a softball to make the catch, but domes are a little bit different with each one. What are some of those advantages that the Husky Dome brings this group? What are some things you notice about that playing field?
I definitely think like dome balls off the ceiling. Like I think we know how to play those really well because obviously practice. Like we have a segment of practice where we literally hit balls into the ceiling of the dome, so we can learn how they come off and which way we got to go and all that stuff. So for sure that.
Yeah, and I think our turf's pretty fast. Like, so I think we really know the bounce as well, and we know exactly how it's going to work and how it's going to bounce. So I think we definitely have an advantage when teams like only have gyms to practice in. They don't really know how the ball comes off the turf. So I definitely think we have an advantage of being able to play where we have our games.
So obviously you do have to hit the road sometimes, and once the dome is down, you have to go and play conference games elsewhere. When you're on the road, you're on the bus, how do you kill time? What are the go-to ways that this team spends their time on the bus?
I would say our team's pretty big on TikTok. We really like making TikToks and watching TikToks. We don't really like watch movies or anything. I would say we're actually a pretty quiet bunch on the bus. A lot of sleepers. We have a lot of sleepers.
A lot of
so,
sleepers.
Yeah.
On the floor. Those darn seats are just way too uncomfortable. Just go on the floor.
Yeah.
But a bunch of us also have Switches. So the Nintendo Switch, we'd play games on there, bring them to the hotel room, set them up to the TV, have a big party. That's what we like to do.
I'm going to guess that gets pretty competitive.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for
we
sure.
all play Fortnite, and it's just so competitive. Like, it's just so goofy, too, because we're awful at Fortnite. But we love to act like we're super good at it.
So do each of you have like your go-to Fortnite team?
Yeah, I actually, we have this little group chat called the Fortnite Crew, and it's me, Sophie, Holly, and Josie. No one else has Fortnite on their Switches, but we literally have this little group chat where we text Fortnite tonight, and we play every night. It's bad. It's really bad.
Do you keep track how many wins you have?
Oh, no. But we have a lot, actually. It's
Unpopular opinion.
we actually have a lot, like probably over like 15. So I would say we're pretty decent.
So with that, obviously energy stays up when you're playing Fortnite, when you're just being together on the road.
Yep.
Who are some of those teammates, whether it be yourselves, others in the group, who keep that energy up throughout a very, very long college softball season?
I'm gonna have to go with Josie again.
Oh,
like
for
she,
sure.
like I tell everyone, she keeps me young. Like genuinely, I feel so old sometimes.
But at the
and
same time, you're like, oh my God, Josie.
she keeps me so young. Like I swear, she's like a 15-year-old boy sometimes. Like just talks like it, walks like it, acts like it, and I'm like, you keep me young.
For sure.
Justice too.
Yes.
She's a freshman, but she brings so much good energy to the team and such a positive perspective to the team as well. So
Yeah, I definitely agree with those two. I think when we're all together, Sophie also can,
Yep.
like, if you get Sophie in a mood, you better watch out
Yeah.
because, oh my God.
100%.
We alluded to this a little bit earlier in the show. We were going to talk about leadership and captains that you played under. Looking back at those first, second years of your playing college softball, who were some captains or just leaders on the team that you learned the most from?
I would just have to say again, Morgan Emmons. She showed a lot of tough love.
for
she
sure.
really did, but she also pushed you beyond your limits. The big thing with her was that she got on me for my mistakes. Like she held me accountable. Like if I wasn't giving my 100%, she would 100% call me out on it. And I was like, okay, maybe I should try a little harder.
Yeah.
So she definitely made me realize that like I need to be more accountable, and she would hold me accountable every single time. So
Yeah, she definitely made the team better. She gave it 110% at everything. Even when she became our GA and she was coaching, she was giving those catcher signs like 110%
Yep.
all the way.
Yep.
She could probably still play both.
Oh,
those years
for
too,
sure.
right?
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah. I don't remember if she came to the alumni game, but
Well, the last time I don't think she did this year, but last
Yeah.
year when she was pregnant, she wanted
still
to
played.
play so bad, and I think
Yeah.
she was out in the outfield for a little
Yeah.
bit with her little
you just can't.
with her little belly.
You can't stop that one. But I would also say Megan Conrad's,
Mhm.
Maya Keating,
Yep.
all great leaders. They were all very loud, very passionate for the game. Like Megan, always going 100% at third base. Maya, she
too.
wasn't there all the time because she was an elementary teacher. But when she did come,
You
you would
knew
know
she was there.
You
Yep.
knew she was there.
Mhm.
So yeah.
For sure.
She was the first wave of fifth-year senior too, wasn't
Yes.
she? And
Yes.
Cassie?
Yes,
Yep.
her and
That
She
year?
was-
Cassie.
Yep.
Throughout your careers as leaders, now obviously veteran leaders on this team, you have been for a while. Who are some people within the program, even outside of the program too, in your day-to-day lives that have helped shape the leaders that you are today?
I would 100% go my dad. My dad's my first coach, and every time I'm struggling with hitting, I have to go back home and hit with him, and then somehow magically I hit well the next game. It's just
I
he's-
can attest to that.
yeah, he's my biggest supporter and the best coach I've had ever. He's really shaped me into the player that I've been today. So
Yeah, both of my parents too. They've coached me. My mom was my high school coach, so I got her for 4 years, and then they also helped coach Kevin on Green Bay Powerhouse, my AAU team. So I've had them coach me for quite a while. But definitely, both my parents and as well as my grandparents just have a tattoo of what he said. Like I look down at it before every game, every play. Really shaped me to who I am today.
I know this is a team that kind of year in, year out, there's a lot of consistency in the personnel, right? Like the same classes kind of stick together for a good amount of time. Year to year, is there much that changes in terms of leading? Like, do you have to change your leadership style a little bit based off of the new freshman class or the sophomores stepping into their own?
I would say a little bit.
Little bit.
Like with JP, she has a pretty big personality, and so
Yeah.
do I. So I would consider her one of my like best friends. But I did have to definitely change the way I kind of lead. Like I realized that people respond differently to different things. So I definitely knew that I would have to like give her feedback in a different way, especially with us being so close. I kind of knew I would have to change that a little bit so she would actually like listen to me as a captain. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look at the past 2 years and like when we had Mo, like she could yell at us and she didn't care if you took it well or not. Like she was going to yell at you and you just had to deal with it. I think definitely like just growing up and the mental aspect being like what it is coming now in today's world. Just knowing that there is the mental side of it and mental health. So being able to communicate with people different, it can go a long way.
What are some of those most important pieces of leading on and off the field? What are those attributes? What are those things that you do from a day-to-day basis that help you lead?
I would say that like my biggest thing is building relationships with my teammates. I've noticed that like when I build really good relationships with them, they follow me a lot better, and I'm able to lead them a lot better because I know exactly like how I have to talk to them, how they're going to respond, how I should give feedback to them. So I think building relationships with them has definitely made being a leader much easier.
Yeah, I think you've done such a great job of doing that this year as well. So compliments to you. But along with just building relationships, like leading by example. Like if you want somebody to pick up an extension cord at the end of practice, like even though I'm a fifth year, even though I'm a captain, I will still pick up that extension cord, like, or anything like that. Or helping Maddie, who's our, I don't even really know what you want to call her, but our
student manager.
She's like a student manager, yeah, and she busts her butt for us. Like I'm gonna bust my butt for you. Like it is what it is. Like it's give and take.
Yeah.
You've both had 5 years, 4.5-ish at this point of college softball at St. Cloud State. Reflecting on it, which I know is really hard to do, right? So many wins, so many records being broken, so many successful teams. When you think of your favorite memories here over these 5 years, what are the first few that start to stick out to you as that's something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life?
I would say my like most favorite memory ever right now is when I think we were losing to CSP. I think it was in the 7th inning. And I actually hit the walk-off home run to also break the RBI record.
Yeah, that was huge.
It was just coming into my teammates. It was just so fun. And then actually I went to my dad. My dad was crying after.
And he doesn't cry.
No, and then he made me cry. So I was like, okay, so that's got to be my favorite memory ever. And I'm grateful that happened. So
I think one of my favorite memories is like on the outside, still softball related, still during a game, but I think it was last year against Mary. When Gabby Nelson hit the double to get us ahead in the one game, and then in the next game hit the walk-off home run. Just seeing the video that Kelly, our coach, took of her rounding third and all of us at home plate, like it's giving me goosebumps right now. Like she has been working her butt off, and for that to be paid off and to just see her smile. And then I threw the ball in. My dad already wrote on it to give that to her. That's just one of my favorite memories, probably.
Jazz, you talked about you break the record with a walk-off home run, and I think RBIs are such a unique record because obviously it takes your ability to produce when runners are on, but it also takes teammates to be on base to drive in
100%.
runs. So just for the two of you being in that moment together, being here together for 5 years, how special is that to get to witness some history? Obviously, you get to live a little bit of history.
It was so special. I literally could have not broken that record without Raven. Literally every time she's on base, I just feel like I'm like, oh, I gotta score her. Like every time, and I have no doubt every time she's in front of me, along with Holly, that they're always gonna get on base for me. So like every time they're up to bat, I'm like, they're gonna get on easily, and I'm like, now it's my job to hit them in. So
yeah, I love just being able to be on base and then walk the rest of the way in, and I can turn to her and I'd be like, yeah, and then I'm like, oh, touch second base, turn back around, yes, Jazz, oh, gotta touch third. Like it's just awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's like my favorite thing ever to go watch the videos of me hitting home runs, and Raven doesn't even look at the ball. She just puts her hand up and just goes. So yeah.
Well, you've hit so many, she's used to it, right?
Oh, exactly.
Like she knows
like
off
I
the
know.
bat.
Oh gosh.
And then I think just at home plate where we do our little chest bump, like just get hyped for each other. I think that's an awesome feeling.
And this group too is so special of fifth-year seniors because it's the two of you. You have Sydney Trees, Lauren Kirkbird, Jamie Odlum comes in as well as a fifth-year senior in her all right for Minot State. Spending that time together. The four of you being here for 5 years, how cool is that to get those 5 years together?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a ride with them.
Cool.
So many ups and downs. But yeah, we definitely have a very special group of fifth years, and I don't think I'd want it with anyone else.
I think we're already talking about when we leave here, when are we going to get together? What's going to be, what are we going to do? Like this summer, let's do a summer trip. Like we're already planning it because I don't know what we'll do when we can't see each other every day.
It's going to be weird. It's going to be odd.
For sure.
That's for sure.
Ladies, I know we're running fairly short on time here on What's Good Huskies. I want to thank the two of you for such amazing careers at St. Cloud State, impacting not only athletics, but the community around SCSU. Certainly, here at Huskies Athletics, we've been very, very blessed to have the two of you with us.
Thank you.
And with that, I think that should wrap us up here on What's Good Huskies. Some awesome conversation with two of the very best who have done it with St. Cloud State. Raven, Jazz, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us. I really appreciate it.
And with that, from the studios of UTVS, this is Thomas Breach signing off.